And Prabhu, you have anything to share, Prabhu? Yes, Prabhu.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
पूरी आवाज आपको आ रहा है?
हाँ, मेरा आवाज आपको आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I was asking that about discussed in the last class, the 7:15:24 verse. So in that shloka, in the translation, it is written that by practicing Hatha Yoga, Pranayam, and so forth, one should counteract sufferings due to the body and mind.
Yes, Prabhu.
The third thing. So, by practicing Hatha Yoga and Pranayam, here means that, like meditation in trance means chanting. You said that meditation in trance means chanting. So, what is meant by here that by practicing means Hatha Yoga and Pranayam?
Prabhu, see here specifically in the Sanskrit, if you see, it's Atmajam Yoga Viryana, right? This is one is Samadhi, another is Atmajam Yoga Viryana, right? See, for us, Prabhu, nothing stops sometimes devotees do this yoga also. They do this breathing exercise, like the pranayam breathing exercise and all that, right? That is not refuted. That is always, it's a process by which people want to keep the body healthy. But one thing about devotional services, Prabhu, anything you do, it is in connection with Krishna. So it's not simply like somebody is doing yoga and then they go and eat meat and fish, egg, everything that people do now. Like it's not that everybody who is doing yoga are all like they are like harmless to other living entities. No, there are people who do all these things at the same time they harm the other living entities. For example, they eat anything and everything. There is all tamasic food. Everything is done. So there is no systematic connection between what you are doing and your lifestyle, Prabhu. You get my point? So that is one of the things. Like for example, yoga viryana, pranayama. You can simply sit and do pranayama also. But when you simply chant Om, like for example, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is pranayam. When you are doing this, when you sing Jaya Radha Madhava, you sing with bhav, nice, long, like even simple shlokas you take, Prabhu. Here the yoga, we are talking about breathing exercise, is automatically inbuilt when you sing Bhagavatam shlokas. See, Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram. Till this point, you are not breathing. I mean to say, you are not breaking the breath. Right?
Yes.
And then you hold the stop. Ano raniyam samanusmaredhyah sarvasya dhataramachintya rupam aditya varnam tamasah parastat. The same thing you can sing in Hare Krishna mantra also. Right? The same thing when you do this, our Brahma Samhita, you sing very nicely, Chintamani Prakara Sadma Sukalpa Vriksha. Here, the entire thing you are inhaling and then you are exhaling. So this automatically, our saints and sages have given us these methods to include pranayama and this hatha yoga. Hatha yoga is nothing, Prabhu. When you do hatha yoga, you are doing different steps, right? Simply you sit in Padmasana posture in Bhagavatam class, or while chanting you do with sitting in Padmasana pose with the legs folded. That is hatha yoga. In Kali Yuga, anything that you do without connection with Krishna will degenerate us. It will get deviated from the main path in very, very quick time. That is what Narada Muni advises Vyasadeva also, right? What is that? Kinchit tatonyata kinchit yad vivakshataha. Kinchana yad vivakshataha. Little bit also you go away from Krishna, it goes deviated like anything. So that is why you see, originally the yoga process were all inbuilt with bhakti only. Our Hatha Yoga, Samadhi Yoga, whatever this, the Dhyana Yoga, all these yogas were all in connection, in relation with, in connection with Krishna only. But because of the deterioration due to age of Kali, people started separating the two. Like, okay, for you, bhakti means something else. For me, bhakti means something else. Okay, this Hatha Yoga process alone, I will split it, saying this, take out, separate Krishna or God consciousness from there. So only Hatha Yoga they will take and they will teach. You get me? So what happens is people take that separately and they say that, hey, I am also doing devotion service. But whether your rest of the lifestyle is in connection with that or not, that is the question. Very simple incident happened. When Maharaj when Parampuja Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj was giving a class in Rajkot on Prabhupada's appearance day. That is the day after Janmashtami. I was there with him in Rajkot. So at that time, after the noon, around the noon time, Maharaj gave a class, beautiful class on Prabhupada, glorification of Prabhupada. Then in that thing, one Gujarati was sitting, Gujarati devotee. In fact, he is the father of one other devotee, one other boy who was at that time nicely doing seva. So the father had also come with nice safari suit, pant and everything. He is sitting. And Maharaj finished the class and I took him out. Maharaj went out for a little bit of fresh air while the kirtans were going on. So he was sitting outside and I was sitting next to him below. And this Prabhuji came and he said he was almost in tears. And then he said in Gujarati, you have spoken so nicely on Prabhupada. I feel like, it's so much love for Prabhupada, etc., etc. Then Maharaj looked at him and with a really, he was firing mood he was. So he asked him, what have you given up that tears are coming from your eyes? You have not given up your safari pants, safari suit and shoes and socks and everything. You have not given up any of these things. And what natak you are trying to do? You are already as old as retiring, and there is no need for you to wear. You are in country, you are not able to come in dhoti kurta to the temple with no tilak on. And what are you crying for? Don't do this natak with me. Maharaj was very furious with him, and he was taken aback. He thought he will be appreciated and glorified for crying, So many times we cry to get glorification. So much hypocrisy. So like this, what happens is, in the name of devotional service, we show our emotions and all that, and we want appreciations for the emotions also. A real person who cries, when Prabhupada cried, he had tears coming from his eyes in spiritual ecstasy, and he stopped the kirtans and he went inside the room. And when that 1 minute of that stop was there, devotees didn't know what to do. They didn't want to sing kirtan and disturb Prabhupada's ecstasy, or they didn't know what to do at that time, sitting silently. Is it good or not? So there are two parties there. One party, it became two parties in terms of discussion point. One said, no, we should have done kirtans. Prabhupada would not have liked us to sit silently there. And the other group said that, no, we should not disturb Prabhupada in his ecstasy. If any sound we make, it will disturb Prabhupada's ecstasy like that. So the two parties lead, they went to Prabhupada and they asked Prabhupada, today you suddenly stopped the class and you went into ecstasy. Yes. And Prabhupada was very bit shy of accepting it. Very shyly he accepted it with a little bit of that hesitation. He accepted, yes, that happened. I'm sorry, he said. And then devotees said, no, Prabhupada, but we didn't know what to do at that time. Whether we should keep quiet until you come back to external consciousness, or should we sing Kirtan? Then Prabhupada just, as a matter of fact, he said, just chant Hare Krishna, don't bother about all these things. So he was very clear about those things. That's why he said very nicely that crying is a very good symptom of devotional service, but not everybody who cries is a devotee. He was very clear in his statement, right? Crying is a very important symptom. Without, automatically it comes. But don't go around showing everybody that, see how much I have cried, how much I have cried. I am having so much love for Krishna. So that is a real drama. So that's the thing which our Prabhupada and all our acharyas were against. You should not degenerate into a sahajiya concept, right? So that is why whenever we do this hatha yoga, this yoga, and all these other things, we don't have to externally show that, see, I am doing this, I am doing that, etc. So it is very important. Yesterday I was reading about preaching. Prabhupada had written some wonderful thing. I had written it in my notes. What is preaching? It's a very beautiful line it was. Mm, hmm. See, this sloka is very nice. 7.6.24. Very beautiful verse. Tasmat sarveshu bhuteshu. I'm sharing the screen now, so let me stop. Anyone else want to share this sloka? Who is there in this group who will be able to share this sloka?
Prabhu, tell me the number. This is Rajesh.
Oh, Rajesh Prabhu is there. 7.6.24, Prabhu. Very in the purport, I wrote in a few lines. Prabhupada, this is really even more better. 7.6.24. So the crying or whatever symptoms that comes, it has to come automatically. It should not be like forced this thing upon it. So if you open it, tasma sarveshu bhuteshu dayam kuruta saukrudam bhavam asura unmichya yayatushyate adopshajah. Can somebody read the translation?
I will read, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
The translation, therefore, my dear young friends, born of demons, please act in such a way that the Supreme Lord, who is beyond the conception of material knowledge, will be satisfied. Give up your demonic nature and act without enmity or duality. Show mercy to all living entities by enlightening them in devotional service, thus becoming their well-wishers.
It's a beautiful line. No? Show mercy to all living entities by enlightening them in devotional service. And this is the preaching part. See, if you see in this entire purport, Prabhupada will talk about preaching in connection with this enlightening others in devotional service. When we enlighten others in devotional service, that is actually preaching, nothing else. See, if you read the thing, just a few lines here, no? Prabhupada starts off with that 18.55 in the purport. Then see what he's telling. Prahlad Maharaj ultimately instructed his class friends, the sons of the demons, to accept the process of devotional service by preaching the science of Krishna consciousness to everyone. You see the connection there? When you preach the science of Krishna consciousness to everyone, that is when we are actually doing devotional service. When we are helping others to do devotional service, that is when we are actually doing devotional service. This is what it actually means, right? And then see what he is saying beautifully. Preaching is the best service to the Lord. Preaching is the best service to the Lord. The Lord will immediately be extremely satisfied with one who engages in this service of preaching Krishna consciousness. And then he goes on to say, same sloka nearby, that Nacha Tasman Manusheshu. See, then he goes on to tell about how we should spread Krishna, preaching the glories of the Lord and his supremacy. Even if he's imperfectly educated, he becomes the best servant and all that. But towards the end of that paragraph, see how beautifully Prabhupada is saying, that is the easiest way to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. before Bhoktaram. Let's say with it. That is the easiest way to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By such preaching, the preacher becomes satisfied. Okay. And then those to whom he preaches are also satisfied. This is the real outcome of our enlightening others and devotion. Tushyati, what is that? Bodhayantaha parasparam katayantascha mamitam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Both person who is preaching and the person who is getting preached, both are, if I have to say, enlightenment and devotional service, right? Both of them are satisfied. That is the outcome. And Prabhupada is connecting with this Bhoktaram Tapasam. This, I really like this point about what is the real preaching. When you say I am preaching, are we satisfied? Firstly, because that preaching, if it is enlightening others in devotional service, it will definitely satisfy me first. And if I'm truly enlightening others in devotional service in that process of whatever I'm calling as preaching, then they will also be satisfied. If both of us are satisfied, Krishna will be satisfied. So that is the real tushyanti cha ramanti cha. See, so the whole point is that there should not be any hypocrisy or duplicity in our process, in our activities. And that is why our saints and sages have given us this particular point, that whether you are doing Hatha Yoga, you do Samadhi Yoga, you are doing Jnana Yoga, or you are doing anything else, please do it as an offering to Krishna. Yad karoshi, yad juhoshi, yad ashnasi, yad dadasi, yad tapasyasi kauntaya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Do it as an offering to me, Krishna says. No? In Bhagavatam also, there are many similar slokas where everything has to be done for the pleasure of Krishna. Did that help you, Prabhu? So whenever you are reading these statements like Hatha Yoga, Pranayama, or sometimes Prabhupada will say something which relates to the, when people have taken it up separately, apart from keeping Krishna consciousness separate, we should actually understand it in the current world's context and see from the overall Bhagavatam principle, and see that when Prabhupada is saying Pranayama, he doesn't simply say just do Pranayama. Worst case, if you only do Pranayama, that's also okay. But always realize that with all these things are happening under Krishna's supervision. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sa characharam. Unless we know, see, here he is saying in that sloka 7:15:24, in that he is saying that the miseries due to the higher living entities will have to be resolved, or the remedy for that is say samadhi. Right? What does that mean? Samadhi means
will be alive.
Sorry,
Will be alive.
No. This is alive. You will be alive only in samadhi. That's
Okay.
not dying in samadhi. No, what I mean to say is, when you say samadhi, you have accepted the situation around you as it is and just continuing on with your activity. That is what it means. If it is raining heavily outside, what will I do? I have to accept it. I can't go and fight with Indra or Krishna or somebody. I cannot go and ask Surya Bhagavan, why are you scorching me so badly in this month of May and June and April and all that? If he has to scorch, if it is summer, he will have to come out. And if it is rainy season, our Indra has to come out and do his job. We cannot live without the sun also. We cannot live without the rain also. So we have to, samadhi actually means you accept a thing and just get yourself busy with your activities of pleasing Krishna. Not get agitated and irritated with Surya Bhagavan or Indra or Vayu Bhagavan or whatever. They are doing their duty. And secondly, we cannot stop them. So that acceptance of that fact is what we should know. We should put into practice. That is what Samadhi is saying in that verse. If you open that 7:15:24, Rajesh Prabhu. So that Samadhi word means. So Atmajam Yoga Viryana. Atmajam means what? my misery is due to my own body, bodily this thing, right? That what will you do? Because of your vayu is disturbed, we are getting all these bodily miseries and so on, basic bodily miseries at least, if you have to say, right? So how will you counteract those? By doing yoga viryana. Yoga viryana means, okay, you do this hatha yoga or pranayama or whatever that is non-invasive. For every single small, see, if I'm getting some leg pain or something, naturally it must be due to some mistake in the flow of, in the, some disturbance in the flow of the vayu or blood circulation. So how do you do that? For everything, if you take goli, then it's going to affect our body. We become too much dependent on the tablets and medicines, which we don't want to, right? So what we do now, then we find natural remedies. And the most troublesome part of being dependent on the medicines is that there are side effects. Isn't that true? All of us know, even the ones who is producing those medicines, they also tell that there will be side effect. Doctors themselves tell there will be side effect. So I have to give another medicine to stop that side effect. So this is actually, like last week we discussed about that one quote from about this Rockefeller's industry, whatever, no? That they have created this industry so that people will become a slave. They have no option but to go to paracetamol every time. Dolo, this, put that, put that. When you had this corona, this thing, for that they produced the vaccine, Covaxin or Covishield or whatever. And while putting the injection, they will give you to some $2 for free. Did they give you? They gave you, right? Two or four tablets of Dolo, right?
Yes.
So why?
Yes.
Actually, how many of you put that Dolo? I never put Dolo for so many years. I have not put it. That Dolo is fully paracetamol, and that it's chemical. It's alcohol. It's chemical. It is. So it's just the mind. They've tuned your mind that, okay, if I put paracetamol, you will not feel the pain. Simply just accept. So then that is a tie-up between this paracetamol company and the vaccine company. They wanted to say, okay, I have lot more I have produced. People are not buying this Dolo. What should I do? Okay, you do one thing. You give the stock to me. I will give it as free for people whoever is giving. So slowly we will get them used to this Dolo. Then initially, like we do that now. Initially, they give most of this business people. Initially, they'll give you for free. This Geo also, he was giving for free for 1 year. Everybody was jumping from Airtel to Geo. And after that, now the charges are like, no, they take the monopoly of the entire market, finish all the other people and just doing this. So like this is how they take advantage of our thing. So our Bhagavatam way is to stop this thing from happening. So at least you go to pranayama or hatha yoga, solve the problem yourself. The healing process is inside you only. That is what Bhagavatam says. For all the problems that are created by the body and mind, you have the remedy also within the body only, within the mind only. And that is why that Atmajam Yoga Viryana is very important. And maximum you take help of some of these things like ginger or cinnamon or some things. Maharaj used to say very interesting logic. He would say that, see, whatever Krishna has done, he has done it with the right purpose. Now, if you buy ginger, maybe some from market, or you grow ginger, you are 100% sure that inside that ginger, only ginger will be there. You peel the ginger skin, ginger only will be there, right? How much are we guaranteed that, can we guarantee that inside a Kṛṣṇa, that strip, only Kṛṣṇa will be there? And inside that, is it a expired Kṛṣṇa or the valid Kṛṣṇa? We don't know. What chemical they are putting, we don't know. We are not there when they are produced. So when Krishna is giving these Vishwabheshaja, simpler medicines, these natural medicines, we can rely on them. They may be a bit slow or whatever. That is not the problem. By by relieving ourselves of the fever so quickly, we are not going to go and get a business and get some $1 million worth business and become rich man or whatever. Or we are not having a big things to do in just maybe instead of getting done in 2-3 days, it is going to get done in 3-4-5 days or so. Right. I was so sick in Pune, and I when came back to Chennai, I refused to take any medicine. I was just lying down, took some days off, and 3 days, 4 days, it went off. All I had to do was just take some ginger medicine, something. There's nothing. And my friend Rama Bhakti Prabhu and Ananta Gauri Mataji, their home only I was there for Chitra Mataji and Suresh Prabhu came that program. So they asked me, that did he take me? They asked Sudarshana that did he take medicine? She said no, he never took medicine. He's so adamant he's not taking any medicine, no food also. So Langanam Paramaushadam, automatically this thing goes away. So see, some things like this we have to bring into our life. This Hatha Yoga, this pranayama. These are all for us. Everything has value only when in connection with Krishna. On its own, Hatha Yoga is of not much value. Not that I'm saying you reject it. First case, they let them do at least that much. But we have to bring them to the next level. They have to come to the next level of studying Bhagavad Gita, accepting Krishna Supreme as a Supreme Control, as our Lord, and then accepting the situations in this world in a certain way. So that's when we can be satisfied and peaceful. Otherwise, always being agitated, how does it work? Right? We still think the things happening in this world is all real, whereas actually it is Maya only. It's all illusion. And we think it is real. And somebody is enjoying his life in illusion, that person itself is an illusion. So if we are in real, if we are in reality, we will just say, oh, he's an illusion and then move on. But see, we are Maha illusion. What is that Maha illusion? That person is enjoying and we are envious of him. In illusion, he is enjoying, and looking at his illusion as reality, we are suffering. That is why the first line, by good behavior and freedom from envy, one should counteract sufferings due to other living entities. When your freedom from envy is when you understand the reality, you will not have envy. They'll be jumping up and down, and they'll just after some time they will keep quiet. They will settle down. Right. So this is a beautiful. That's why Maharaj always loved this slok. I see two hands raised. Balaji Prabhu was raising for a little while. Prabhu, go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Rajesh
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, can scroll the screen down, Prabhu? I have a doubt in the purport. In the purport, Prabhu, there is a mention saying enmity or duality. Enmity, I understand, just now we explained that somebody is enjoying, we feel envious about them, and or we are an enemy to them. But what is duality, Prabhuji? It is not in this. The earlier sloka it was mentioned, I think.
Dvandva Mohena Bharata, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, no?
Enmity or duality? Enmity,
See,
I understand.
Enmity arises out of duality. See, duality means what? Friend, enemy. Good, bad. Like, dislike. Happiness, sadness. These are all the Dvandva Moha. Dvandva is there and you are in Moha because of that. So you see the same thing. If some good thing happens to you, whom you consider as friend, you become joyful, right?
Yes.
You're happy when why? Because you are treating that person as part of you. Whatever good happens to that person, you feel that it's for me also. Like last week we discussed that beautiful line, no, in the purport. Remember that self-sufficiency and dependency, which we discussed last week. Somebody who is self-sufficient, how he can be self-sufficient by being dependent on others? Means his happiness depends on another person's happiness. Correct? But that another person, we are seeing him as another person, but that the Krishna does not see the other person as other person. He sees them as himself, as part of himself. You understand?
Got it.
If my hand something hurt is there, somebody hurts me, then I feel the pain. Why? Because I see this as part of my hand. Now, suppose if my hand is cut off and then it's there, and somebody is hitting that hand, how much will that pain me? This relieving part will be only for some time. It will pain. After that, if once it is the pain is wound is healed, we will not feel the pain. Correct. But after that, somebody preserves that hand and keeps on hitting, we will not feel the pain. Why? Because it is separated from us.
Exactly.
Right.
Got it.
So that is how we feel the pain and pleasure when something happens to somebody who is connected with us. But this Dvandva, what it does is, it disconnects some people from us, connects some people with us. And based on how much they are giving me happiness and distress. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody is giving me all happiness, they are mine. If somebody is not giving me happiness and giving me, they're not connected with me in any way, I just disconnect from them. So whatever happens to them, it doesn't pain me. Why? Because I'm not seeing my connection with that person through Krishna. I'm not seeing Krishna inside that person. And I'm not seeing that person is connected to me because of that. I'm not seeing Krishna inside me. So both me and him, the same Krishna is there. So why I'm not connected? That I don't ask this question. So this is Dvandva. Understand? Some people I feel connected because they are related to me, or in other words, they are giving me happiness. I don't relate to somebody because they don't give me happiness, and I don't have to give them happiness, or I don't have to do any service to them. But Prabhupada thought, because Prabhupada is completely free of this Dvandva Moha, Te Dvandva Moha Nirmukta, Bhajante Mam Drida Vrata. That line is there, no? In 15th chapter, I think, right? So he is saying that thing. So Dvandva Moha Nirmukta. We have to give up this Dvandva Moha. Out of Moha only we are seeing this Dvandva. Oh, that is mine. This is someone else's. This is mine. This is someone else's. Like that, I am discriminating constantly. And because of the discrimination, I am seeing when someone else gets some good success in their life, I am not able to enjoy it. So that is enmity. I am hating, oh, that person should not get it. This person should not get it. In reality, we don't control anybody's happiness and distress. That thing is we fail to understand. Mind doesn't want to, it's rebellious. It doesn't want to understand. It says everybody should be controlled by me. Everybody's happiness and distress should be controlled by me. If anybody wants happiness, they should come to me. That is what Hiranyakashipu was doing. Right? And because of this controlling propensity, he was disturbed. He couldn't sleep, in spite of the fact that he could control all the other people. See, there's a very, very nice purport, a very, very nice verse I read in, my God, which seventh canto only. Just 3 days ago, I was reading. I wanted to meditate on this very nice. There's about Hiranyakashipu's atrocities. It is said, no, there Indra and all were sidelined, and he took control of the Indra, Swargaloka, and everything. There, one beautiful verse is there about how much he was suffering because of this controlling propensity. Wait a minute, let me see that. I might get it traveling. No, not here. Fourth chapter, probably. Such an amazing verse. You keep reading this, and you're really amazed. How Prabhupada has written this. Prabhupada's. I write it down. If I had written it down, I would have. Yes. No, not this one. This is what is actually duality, Prabhu. If duality is when we are discriminating. Best to think is and 4.
Prabhu, is it 7/4/19?
1 minute,
I'm sharing.
Prabhuji. I might be. That also is one, Prabhu. Instead of using the power to control in all directions, and in spite of enjoying all types of dear sense gratification as much as possible, he was dissatisfied because instead of controlling his senses, he remained their servant. This is one thing, but beyond that, there is one more verse is there. That shloka is also a very beautiful shloka. But the shloka I know very well. But this is something which I always kind of didn't think of it as a very connected thing, but it when it struck me really when I read that. Yes, got it. See, 7/5/38, Prabhu. Amazing. That other one you quoted is also very beautiful one, Prabhu, but this is really amazing. 7/5/38. सर्वैरुपायैर् हन्तव्यः सम्भोजशयनासनैः सुहृल्लिङ्गधरशत्रुर्मुनेर्दुष्टम् इवेन्द्रियम्. Can somebody read this translation?
May I read, Prabhuji?
Please, Prabhu.
Yeah. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Just as uncontrolled senses are the enemies of all yogis engaged in advancing in spiritual life, this Prahlada, who appears to be a friend, is an enemy because I cannot control him. Therefore, this enemy, whether eating, sitting, or sleeping, must be killed by all means.
Hiranyakashipu was telling this. See, there's a key thing here. If you notice, you tell me what is the key thing here before I spill the beans. You see what is the key thing here. Based on from our discussion points, also you will understand.
The uncontrolled senses, Prabhuji.
No.
Prabhuji, distinction of enemy and friend, which cannot be controlled.
Yes, but
duality. Enemy and friend.
Yes, what is that actually? What is that? The difference between enemy and friend?
Sometimes
Getting
a friend
into
can
dualities.
be an enemy.
Getting into dualities, Prabhuji.
A friend also in sometimes can be an enemy.
Yes, but when?
When the actions of the friend are not in line with what we want.
You explained it in a longer in a way, but actually Prabhupada has given it in a very, very simple way directly there. Whoever we can control, we see them as friends. Whoever we cannot control, we see them as enemies. This kind of a beautiful thing nobody has given. If you look at it in reality in our life, that is what actually it is, isn't it? Right? Anybody who listens to us is our friend. Anybody who is not listening to us or acting in a way we like to, that they are our enemies. This is the level of immaturity we have, and that is a level of that is a duality also. That only gives rise to duality. We want everybody under our control. This is the materialistic way of thinking. Hiranyakashipu wanted to control everybody. So whoever is listening to him and saying whatever he says is correct, they are his friends. And when his own son, who is very cultured and he's not acting against him, he's not calling names or rejecting him or whatever. He is listening to him nicely, but only thing is he is a devotee of Krishna. Because he sees Krishna as enemy, anybody who is Krishna's devotees is becoming automatically enemies for him. You see, so this is the psychology of everybody who is materialistic. We can examine this within ourselves also. Anybody who comes under my control, then what does it mean? Suppose I'm helping somebody, I want them to be grateful to me. I want them to always be thankful and listen to whatever I say and keep telling, oh, you did this for that, you did that so many years ago, or for that I am eternally indebted. You tell me whatever I should do, I will do. These kind of things is what is like, it's like honey to our ears, a nectar to our ears, isn't it? Always keep glorifying, always keep propping up. So that's what is, they call it as a that dose of dopamine, no? Like when people keep on glorifying you, then you feel encouraged, and then you want to that dopamine is it secretes, and then we feel encouraged and we feel energetic. That is, you are dependent on somebody for your service. If nobody is glorifying you for your japa, will you sit alone and do your japa? Nobody is going to glorify us for japa. It's your duty, man. Like in your office, when you are doing your duty, they will say, yes, you did whatever you are expected to do. So we will give you that much rating only. You should go beyond and above and beyond that and do something more. Then we will give you something, right? So it's the same thing here also. You do your japa, you do your mangalat in the morning, you do your reading of Bhagavatam. Nobody will glorify you. Nobody should glorify you. Unfortunately, we are expecting that, even to do the basic things. Above and beyond, you go and do open temples or preach thousands of this, that, and etc. Do so much seva and spread it to so many people that there's a big revolution happening. Not that in numbers, but a big revolution has created. Then maybe we can call us, somebody is outstanding or whatever. Krishna will not see it that way. But what I mean to say is, we should not unduly expect that this is the things they should glorify me for this, glorify me for that. So by default, this thing is expectation is there. For small things, it is you help somebody when they are in difficulty, you want them to remember. After some time, they become well off, they become all right in their life, they become good, their life goes smooth, then they forget you. Then you become disturbed. Why? Because little while ago they are your friends, but their life is becoming good, then why are you inside it is burning? Because I cannot control him anymore, right? When he was in distress and he comes to us, whatever we tell, he will do, right? We will act like well-wishers for them, like, you do like this, you do like that, etc. Fine, they will listen, they will go away. After some time, they will become all right, they will become very prosperous in their life. Are we seeing them becoming prosperous? Like Dhruva Maharaj's prosperity was enjoyed by Narad Muni. What he cannot do, Dhruva was doing. Dhruva had done, achieved. Say like that, whoever we are helping, if they become better and greater in their life, should we feel disturbed by it? That's what here Hiranyakashipu is doing. And he is showing us by practice that the moment I cannot control somebody, they become my enemy. This is the materialistic way of living. Even this is normally what happens is, in a family this may not be so much pronounced in our life, because whether they are good or bad, children listen to us or not, we don't ignore them or reject them. They are children anyway. But the real test will come when you see it from outside, when our relationship with not in blood relations, right? Those who are not in blood relations, with them, how we are dealing with. That is when the real challenge will come, because they will not mind and they will not have anything to do with you. You might have given some slokas when they are not doing, then they would have chanted those slokas and they would have got first prize and they would have become great because of that. Now you expect them to keep on remembering you and keep on thanking you, then that is illusion. So you see how this line makes sense. Prahlada, who appeared to be a friend, is an enemy because I cannot control him. At least we are not like Hiranyakashipu. Most of the parents, they will come to the support of the children even if they don't respect them, but still when they are in difficulty, they will do something. That at least something they will do. But here, Hiranyakashipu, just a little while before, he was like literally, he was hugging him, tears of ecstasy were coming, all that. And he's saying, you appears to be a friend. He's an enemy. He's telling this because I cannot control him. This is real sense of duality and enmity. He is having a duality first to begin with, that I am good and this person is bad, or this person is my enemy. Anybody who is connected with him is also my enemy. That's how he's saying, because I cannot control him anymore. Why he is my enemy? I will tell him to sit, he has to sit. But he's not sitting, he's standing. I tell him to come, he's not coming, he's going. So he's doing opposite of whatever I am telling. So he's not under my control. Right? So it's a very, very deep message here Hiranyakashipu was giving. I somehow felt this is the greatest lesson Hiranyakashipu has given to us. Isn't it?
Yeah. Prabhuji, how to overcome it? How to see, like you said, Prabhuji, in family, so we don't feel anyhow. After all, they are our family. But when it comes to office or something, nah, this is always there. In such circumstances, what do we do, Prabhuji?
No, see, the only problem, the problem arises because the connection is not there. The transcendental connection is not there. I see them as colleagues. I see them as, say, somebody, my college friend or school friend or something like that, or some distant relative or something like that. So the connection means always looking at how I can help them, seeing them suffering. See, I see them as enjoying. That is the biggest problem. That is illusion. Actually, they are suffering. It appears like they are enjoying, but in reality, they are suffering. That they themselves don't know. They means who? See, they are suffering means the Atma is suffering. They don't know means the mind and the senses don't know that the Atma is suffering. I use the same they for two different entities. So you have to find out ways to help them, help the Atma stop its suffering. What will you do if they are not listening to you? They don't have any connection with you, they are not listening to you. Give them some prasadam, just smile at them. That is a way of connecting. Many times you don't even smile at people. We're so busy with our own internal things that oh, this person did this, that person did this, etc., that we forget to smile also to strangers. This is even in the Western world, people smile at you. Even though you are a stranger, they will smile at you at the moment we come in front of them. Isn't it? So the best way is to develop that connection, transcendental connection, through the medium of Paramatma Krishna. We will have to see. See, my approach, my motive itself is wrong, Mataji. When I say, oh, I have to give book to this person, I have to give some knowledge to this person. What does that mean? I have something better he is not having, and I have to show that I am better, so I have to give it to him. This is wrong approach. Whereas when how Prabhupada saw people are suffering, they are suffering without the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So when we suppose I am going and giving the book to that person, he is asking some questions, I am answering the questions, and he becomes enlightened. But then he doesn't take the book. He becomes enlightened. He sees, oh, this is such a nice thing. I will follow what you say. Then he goes away without taking the book. Will you be happy with him or no? normally we will not be happy, because he is one candidate for giving a book. He has not taken it, so I have no connection with him. But actually he listened to you and he went back. So somewhere Krishna will show his mercy to him. Why don't we be happy at that point also? Right? So this is what the reason we are not able to go forward in our devotionals is because all our interactions with other living entities are transactional. Transaction means trading kind of. You get the book, you will be my friend. If you don't get the book, you are not my friend. You give money, you are my friend. If you don't give money, you are not my friend. I have nothing to do with you. Nowadays, that the thing is even further. Until you give money, you are my friend. After you give money, I don't know you. We forget them totally. And then they say, oh, this is Kanwalas, they come, they ask money and everything, and then they forget about you. This is a common thing that sometimes they tell, which is true to a certain extent. We don't keep in touch with them and develop that relationship there. So my transaction is, it all depends on the transaction. Okay, you gave him this money, that is transaction, right? Now I got some name out of it. That is my you have achieved, you have helped me achieve my goal. That's it. So you see that, Mataji, it's not heart to heart. It is more like day by day, day-to-day transaction, like a trade we are having. So these are all the things which we should introspect and see how Prahlad Maharaj was dealing with his father, even though he was enemy. Sorry, I mean, he was treating Vishnu, Lord Vishnu as enemy. And Prahlad himself as enemy. Still, Prahlad Maharaj was never agitated. He never went and complained to his mother, why my father is treating me like this. He saw the whole thing, the entire picture was clear in front of him. Right, Mataji? So I hope that helps, Mataji. It's basically we are not able to develop connection through the medium of Bhagavatam and Krishna. That's when Krishna will be pleased. Chitra Mataji kept her hand raised for a long time. I'm sorry, Mataji.
No, Prabhu. My question was about this preaching thing, what we discussed, that preaching Krishna consciousness is the easiest way to realize Supreme Lord. My question is that when we say about preaching, is it the preaching in the sense that if somebody is giving a lecture or a class is conducted, only there, for example, there is a class which is being conducted and the preacher is the only preacher, preacher who is going to talk in the class is the preacher, or the person, people who are bringing people, the neophyte people to the class, they are also doing a preaching activity. How do we take this?
Yes, everybody who is helping someone to hear Krishna Katha is preacher. Even those who are doing deity worship is a preacher. Who are cooking in the kitchen, they are preachers. It is because of their prasadam that people come again. Many times the cooking devotees are even more pure than someone who is giving a class, maybe. Because in the class, sometimes they may make something, some statement which is controversial, and then they will agitate people. But prasadam you give, people will be completely cooled down, right? And they are hiding behind the scene. Nobody knows who cooked the items, different items. They are really behind the scene and they are doing that seva, right? So, and that's why I'm saying that we are seeing preaching in a very narrow vision. It's not the one who is sitting in the Vyasas and he is alone. He is the only one who is preaching. No, Jayananda Prabhu was the best preacher. He will just engage anybody and everybody in Krishna in the seva, and it is him who brought great souls like his one Jayapatak Maharaj, his one Sindradimna Maharaj, and so many other great leaders in the movement. And he always remained a very humble devotee behind the scene. But till now, you ask them, all these, there's a book written completely about Jayanand Prabhu, and Prabhupada himself had written his condolence message at the time of his departure. And you see so many of them said, I came because of Jayananda. I came by his seeing his simplicity, and I came because he engaged me in seva. I came because he gave me halwa. You cook parts and parts of halwa and distribute to those people. The first thing he told Jayapatak Maharaj is come and hit this nail in the rath cart. You would remember that, right? So preachers are there everywhere, and every means is of preaching. And that is what enlightening in devotional service. We should always equate this word. The moment you hear the word preaching, it should be translated into enlightening others in devotional service. And they can be enlightened in devotional service only when we are enlightened in devotional service. That Tushyanti happens to yourself first and to others then. And so this is how, Mataji. And second thing, I will tell you one more thing, Mataji. Neither the preacher who is sitting on the Vyasasan should think that because of me people are coming, nor those who are bringing those new people to the temple should think that I am bringing the people. End of the day, Krishna is only bringing the people. Krishna is only making us speak, right? And Krishna is only giving us an opportunity to speak about him to all these people. So the moment I start thinking that hey, I am bringing people, I am cooking, that is why people are coming, I am singing, that is why people are coming, then we are in Dvandva, duality. And the Dvandva will automatically lead to enmity, anger, pride, everything. It starts with Dvandva, that Dvandva moha, we are caught up in that moha. Then all the other things follow.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hope
Thank
that
you,
helps,
Prabhu.
Mataji. So always it is very important to take ourselves out of the equation as much as possible. Your mind is so tricky, Mataji. It will just keep coming and again tell you that no, see, you may be thinking that you didn't bring, but actually you are the one who is bringing. Oh my
Hare
God.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Can I say something?
Yes, please, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, this Dvandva you said, it is very subtle, like, to get that understanding that, I am behaving in certain way, that, if that person is not controlled, then, like as you said, that if that person is not under control, that is not listening to me, then he is my enemy. So this kind of feeling, it is very difficult to understand that, I am going through this feeling. I always think that, I am the good person, like this.
Yeah, that is why, many times, in devotee relationships also, when it is not dealt with properly in a mature way, initially those who are very close with each other, after some time they fall apart. Why? Because they say, you are not listening to me, you are not listening to me. Both of them want to control each other instead of being controlled. This is the real problem. When we are not able to handle this in front of the person who is standing in front of the person who is standing in front of us, how will we come under the control of someone who is not seen to us? Krishna, we are not seeing him like in flesh and blood in front of us. He doesn't speak a single word. Whatever he has spoken is all in the book only, right? He is not speaking like you and me are discussing here like this. Of course, maybe like pure devotees he was speaking, right? But he is not speaking. So how can we come under his control? Right? So it's that's why Krishna is trying to give us a little bit of, this is like what do you call that as? Trailer for us, dealing with the different living entities. Why you say someone like Radhanath Maharaj or some Gopal Krishna Maharaj, we are having so much of glorification of Gopal Krishna Maharaj growing in the last few weeks. And how, say, Param Puja Radhanath Maharaj or Jayapatak Maharaj or any other saints, beautiful saintly Vaishnavas are there. Those are not just in terms of achievement I'm talking about, in terms of their heart, how much they have Krishna in their heart. They may not have so many disciples. I know many, quite a few sannyas who don't have many disciples, but they are full of realizations. You just sit with them, you will literally feel like going on and on, hearing nectarian thing about their realizations about Krishna, about Prabhupada. All of them have achieved so much by being surrendered to Prabhupada, and it's a struggle to come out of this propensity of controlling, but then they have come out of it by through service and surrender. So we are following them. You can see that they're showing us all these things, all these realizations by practice. Yes, Gaurav Prabhu. Sorry.
Prabhu, till the time we want to control others, it will be difficult to understand that we are controlled by Krishna.
Beautiful realization. Beautiful realization, Prabhu. Yeah, we will never accept. Till the time I am trying to control others, I will never accept that I am controlled by someone else. Yeah. Always we want to find some ways to, because Maya is so strong, Prabhu, it will tell us that no, you can't do it. The rain is coming, but you can find a way to stop the rain. That's what Hiranyakashipu did. He stopped the rain. He said he shunted out all these people. Indra, Chandra, Surya, everybody. He said, you people just be there. I will know, I will do all these things myself. I know when to when I want rain, I know when I will want to stop the rain. So he is trying to cut off Krishna completely from the scene. And what he was eventually trying to do is not simply trying to control the demigods, because he knows that these devatas are actually listening to Krishna. So by controlling the demigods, he thought he can agitate Krishna. He can disturb Krishna. But Krishna is peaceful. He is just sleeping. He is just resting in his Seshnag. And he is telling you, do whatever you want. I know when to finish you. Because he knows, tells before itself to the devatas, no, that I will not come when you are disturbed, but I will come when Prahlad Maharaj is disturbed. When he disturbs Prahlad Maharaj, that time I will come and finish you. Right? Because you are still mixed devotees. You cannot, because you are still trying to control others. Sorry, Prabhu, saying something. So anybody who is trying to control others will not be able to touch Krishna's heart. That is standard. That is a undeniable fact. When we are trying to control others according to my wish, when I say control others, means it's according to my wish. They should act according to my wish. When I say they to stand, they should stand. When I tell them to sit, they have to sit. Why can't we stand outside, stand distant, and then see them enjoying? I mean to say, progressing in their life, whatever they are doing. Why I should think that only if he listens to me and become a devotee, then I will. Then he is in good path. Why can't we accept this one fact that okay, I will give him now. It may not, the seed may be there, but it will not grow. But let Krishna decide when he wants to bring that person. I have done my job. It's Krishna's job to do his thing. Why can't we do that? And then be happy that whatever materially they are enjoying, let them enjoy. Right? So this is the subtle things which are disturbing our mind, and we are not able to be peaceful.
One example I heard from one Prabhuji was like, there was a person came in the temple and he actually had a discussion with one devotee and वो तर्क करने लग गया. Then this Prabhuji, he said, ऐसा मैंने बताया उसको, वो जिंदगी में टेम्पल नहीं आएगा अभी. Then Prabhuji said, hey Baba, that is not the purpose. The purpose is to keep him in the temple. So
and we don't realize that how long it will take for Krishna to kick us out of the temple, right? So this is how our immaturity, Prabhu. It's an anti-Bhagavatam way, you know. In Bhagavatam way, you don't see anybody as that's why that Chitraketu's prayer, that's very this thing, no, that 6:16:41. Tamaham iti mama chave hitad yad anyatra. Vishama matir na yatra nranam. Tamaham iti mama tavehi chayad anyatra. Vishamadiya rachito yaha adharma kshayishnu bahulaha. That it comes like that. So there it says Krishna conscious devotees are very simple at heart. They see themselves as Krishna's and Krishna is theirs. See, this is last second. They are all Krishna conscious, thinking that they are Krishna's and Krishna is theirs. That's a line that defines a mature and a genuine devotee. So that's where, Prabhu, always we want we want to be in the limelight, in the center of attention. Everybody should glorify me. Like it's a Hiranyakashipu mentality only. But unfortunately, we don't have power like Hiranyakashipu. That is why we are even more disturbed. At least Hiranyakashipu had some power to control people. So he went up to that extent, and then he started feeling disturbed, right? But we don't have the power also, but we want but ego has all the things to the thirst to fulfill, right? Very nice points for discussion. Okay, just quickly we will go to the this next part where we are talking about this extension of that that Kripaya Bhutajam Dukham's explanation. No, Maharaj was connecting these two. So next we will read the 7th part. In the previous part, Maharaj was telling about how this medicine must be our food and food must be our medicine. So we take ginger. Ginger is our food, and he was talking about how non-invasive medicines like ginger and other natural herbs and spices will help us stay away from the Bhagavatam, anti-bhakti things, So let's read from here. Skip the shloka and translation you already read. So I will bring to the screen the paragraph where Maharaj is talking about Bhagavatam is giving the remedy. Anybody want to read?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
So Bhagavatam gives the remedy for the three miseries, and this verse is a cross reference for verse 1540. The cross references from Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam is required. The more you study Bhagavad Gita, your mind will be working as a computer for cross reference.
Very true, Prabhu. This is the more we read Bhagavad Gita, the more we will connect. Hey, yes, this verse is like connected to that. That verse is connected. And then how Prabhupada Krishna is saying there, Bhagavatam is revealing through the some pastimes and stories. Yes, Prabhu, please continue.
That's why this study of Bhagavad Gita is a must. Don't depend upon the computers. Krishna given computer brain is well proved and well tested. You should be able to work out the cross reference using that. If the study is seriously inquisitive, then you will have everything. Whenever you study the shloka, please write the points definitely so that you will know where to use it.
This is very important. Whenever we have this, some studies, that's why I keep writing the notes. Small things, some little you can jot down. But important is we have to go back and study also. That's important. Yes, Prabhu, continue, Prabhu, please.
First, study only 10 verses, but master them. Then you will have plenty of references here and there. But the serious study has to be taken. Serious study cannot be done in courses. You have to be self-sufficient. You should not be allured by thinking that simply by joining the course, you will know everything. Instead, I told you to study one verse today, and that is a life capital for you. That is a lifetime capital for you. If you learn that verse properly, it is lifetime capital. The remedy for threefold miseries is not given anywhere, not in any other scripture. But the remedies are available in Bhagavatam, and that is 7:15:20.
Amazing, no? The threefold miseries are not even mentioned in other books. What to speak of remedy for that? But only in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam you will find the remedy for this threefold miseries. Please continue, Prabhu.
Kripaya bhujatam dukkham bhutajam dukkham. Bhutajam dukkham means
Adibhautik.
Adibhautik. Misery is caused by other living entities. What is the remedy? Kripaya, be merciful to the living entity. When we know that someone is troubling us, we should be merciful unto him.
See, this is the remedy.
This is the
right. When, like we said, someone is troubling us. How they are troubling us? By not listening to us. That's how they trouble us, by not listening to us. One way of troubling us. That's most predominant thing which we discussed for a while. Now, how should we be merciful to them? Just leave them alone. If they are not listening to you, just leave them alone. That is the real mercy that we can show to them. And don't treat them as enemy. then that you will be merciful to yourself, because your sleep will be not disturbed. As long as we consider someone else's enemy, we cannot sleep. We cannot eat properly. We cannot sleep properly. We cannot think properly. So by just let them go. They want to go, let them go. Prabhuji, I want to go to say some other place. Prabhu, I'm in Pune, but I want to go to Delhi or say somewhere else, Ahmedabad, for work. Then I should not tell him that why you are going there, Prabhu. That places are not at all good. This is the best place. You stay here only. He may get some good opportunity to work there, or he may get some good this thing. Why not we let this thing? When you are here, oh Prabhu, you are in my group, then I can tell you this, I can tell you that, we can do this thing, all that. Then that devotee will be in difficulty. He will be he will be in anxiety. Oh, I cannot hurt this devotee. Yes, yes, given me so much. This making another person feel that they should belong to me, they should be dependent on me itself is not a good thing for them. We should let them be independent. That is how we let them grow. Do you see any instance where Narada Muni keeps coming and checking every single day to Dhruva Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj, are you doing the devotional service like I told you? Did he go to Murga? Did he tell you, I will come every day and I will watch you whether you are doing chanting properly or not? He just gave the mantra and left. And when he comes back, they are transformed to pure devotees. Isn't it? That is the level of faith that he had on the holy names, and that is the level of freedom he gave to the disciples. Even if they didn't do, he would not be bothered. I mean, he would say, okay, Krishna will take care of him or her later. This is the important thing. Someone is troubling us, we should be merciful unto him. The mercy is not always like, I have to go and tell him, Prabhu, you like this, you do this, do this. Sometimes not telling is the greatest mercy. Not speaking is the greatest mercy. Okay, they want some space. Okay, let us give them the space. But sincerely at home or temple or wherever, you pray for their well-being. Don't go and tell that I am praying for you. That is again pride. That will also be pride. See, you know how much I am praying for you. That is pride again. Silently pray for others. What's wrong? Don't advertise anything that we do. Right? Please continue, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, what if somebody troubles us? I mean, which is impacting our life? So in that case, what should we
trouble
do?
Trouble means in what way they are troubling?
I mean, anyway, I mean, they are creating some issues or something, Prabhu.
You are keeping quiet and still they are coming and troubling you. That's what you are saying, right? Some trouble is created by our mind only. We like what I told you, just a little while ago. We were discussing that we want to control them. They are not listening to us. That is troubling us. That is so most of the time it is there. If you are doing it, it will be there who will come and give you trouble even if you don't bother them. You are just minding your business, still they will be so envious that they will bother you. That is why that shloka we did, Murga Meena Sajjananam, this deer, fish, and that saintly persons, they are very simple. They don't want they don't disturb any living entity. They don't bother anybody, but still they are just humbly they are just doing their service. Still they have enemies in this world. So we cannot come to this world and expect Krishna to give Golok down here. You understand? Here we have come, this is a world full of dualities, world full of enmity. Frankly, we should thank Krishna that so far we are all right. Imagine if you have born some 1 lakh, 2 lakh years, 10,000 years later, we don't know what will be the situation there. You will be sitting simply and somebody will come and cut you into pieces and eat you. We don't know. Somehow, Krishna's mercy, we are little happy, at least in the safe and satisfied in our homes. Maharaj said a very interesting point, see, the first World War happened in 1918 or around that time, no? 18 to 20, around that time. And within 20 years, the Second World War happened, right? After that, the next World War is supposed to happen around 60s. Every 15, 20 years, these things will keep happening somehow or other. So in the 60s or 70s, that the Third World War should have happened. But because of Prabhupada's this movement, it has stopped. And after that, maximum what happens is they're just threatening. Everybody has nuclear bomb. They say, hey, I have nuclear bomb. They also say, I also have nuclear bomb. They don't fight. They know what is happening. What will happen if both of them fight, right? So our maximum maybe, like for example, Ukraine and Russia is fighting, or some Israel and Palestine is fighting. There's someone nearby in a couple of places, one, two countries only are fighting. Why? Because of the presence of Krishna in the form of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and all the wonderful places of worship. So we should understand that even if somebody is troubling us, it is much less compared to what we are originally supposed to be getting. So we should thank Krishna that, okay, Krishna, you have given very less, like that Tatyanukampam shloka, right? And best case or worst come worst, you just tell them little bit that, see, I'm busy with this. If you want something, I will give you. Just tell me. Worst comes. But again, those people who are troubling us, they want to see us react. So the best option to stop such troubles is to not react. But sometimes you may have to say this when to tell them. But then you should do it with a completely what is that, Prabhu? Completely unattached, Prabhu, basically. If you are trained to do that, right, completely unattached, like just for his benefit, not for my personal ego satisfaction, whatever, then we can do rarely. But that also is very difficult when we are within the modes. So very rarely it may come out. Sometimes it may come out of our control, Prabhu. You may just go and tell something, but later we'll just say, okay, next time I will try not to do it, and then keep on going with your seva. Always remember one thing: we can falter. We may falter. We will falter. But the only option for us is to go forward with the devotion service. You falter, but continue devotion service. Next time it happens, you may handle it better. Right? So just pray to Krishna that, Krishna, please give me some intelligence so that I don't get. We are still in illusion that we will continue our devotional service undisturbed in the advanced stage. In the advanced stage, there will be much more challenges. Much more challenges. There, in facing all those troubles also as part of our devotional service is very important. Like how Jadabharat Maharaj was so much fully in devotional service, but in his throughout his life, did he get any bed of roses and like big glorification and all that? Nothing. He was struggling with the brothers. Then what is that robber that robber group who was this one who was that burglar, he that leader of that dacoits, he about to behead him. And after that also in Rahukana's thing, he had to carry the palanquin. And in that Prabhupada writes, the shloka, Prabhupada writes the translation beautifully, that he never rejected anything. He did everything just to, and on top of it, remember, he knows the past 3 lifetimes minimum, what he went through, right? So there he says very nicely that he did all these activities to extinguish or repay the karma that he committed. What karma he committed, Krishna revealed to him, and he said, okay, I will silently bear through. I will forbear this whole thing because I have to get rid of my karmic reactions. This is is a reaction to my karma I am going through. The only way I can get rid of the reaction is by going through it, by tolerating it.
And in one of the shloka
in
this section, it is there. I mean, the Jad Bharat Maharaj, Jad Bharat, actually he was disturbed by King Rahugana's comments, but then he left it.
Yes.
And he forgot it.
Yeah.
Right?
Prabhupada writes in the translation also, a wave of disturbance was there in Jada Bharat Maharaj's mind, right? That was not because he was insulted, but because he knew Rahugana's previous life also.
Okay.
So that is why he started speaking to him. Until that point, he was silent. Why only to Rahugana he is speaking? Because he knew Rahugana's previous birth.
Okay.
Rahugana was the deer who came in his life, in the previous life. So Jada Bharat Maharaj speaks that way, right? So it's a very nice connection there. I think we haven't completed this few lines, Prabhu.
Yes. Otherwise, you cannot do anything. If you follow any other method, it will worsen. The second line is Devam Jahiyat. Misery is like earthquake, too much rain.
Jahyat, Prabhu, Jahyat.
Jahiyat. Devam Jahiyat. Misery is like earthquake, too much rain, no rain, tsunami. They are all Devam. For that it is some samadhina.
Samadhina.
Yeah. You should go in trance. Just chant Hare Krishna. You
So
cannot
that is our best way of samadhi. Samadhi does not mean you sit in a cave or a forest and just sit in like in Vadmasan pose and do nothing. Samadhi actually means for us it is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. For everybody it is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because when you are in Kirtan you forget, isn't it? When you are in Bhagavatam class or something, when you are listening attentively, then you forget. Right? So more we can chant, the more we can face these situations easily. Yes, Prabhu.
You cannot do anything about it. So chant continuously.
So this is the beautiful thing. You cannot do anything about it. So best way is to chant. One beautiful example Maharaj was telling that suppose they say this Rahu Kal and this all these things now. Many people see that. I should not leave during this Rahu Kal and all that. Suppose, okay, fine, you say you are following the tradition, fine. But suppose you have a flight from your home to say, go somewhere else. Say Sunday, suppose it is 4:30 to 6 is Rahu Kal, say. That flight starts at 4:30. Will you go and tell the pilot that, hey, this is starting at Rahu Kal, start a few minutes earlier? Will he listen to you? So Maharaj is telling that in such cases you cannot do. You can't do when all these things are there. These are all certain things which are beyond our. So Maharaj said very interesting. So what you do? Daivam Jahyat Samadhina. For that Rahu Kal also, for Rahu also you chant. Rahu will not be chanting. So for him, for his benefit, you chant another few more rounds and you will be in peace. Right? The flight, you will be worried that, hey, if I go in the flight at 4:30, something wrong will happen, my work will not happen. Just do chanting in that time. So by chanting, you will be all right. The auspiciousness will be there always. Mangalam Mangalebhyopi. Pavanam Pavanebhyopi. So this is the thing. We can't just simply say, not everybody is in our control, right? We are saying simply, okay, that driver I cannot control. So these are all our own custom-made things, the remedy for that. We say, okay, flight or train may start at 4:30, but I will start from home at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, then that is not Rahu Kal. So this is, when Rahu Kal means everything which is starting. You cannot, that 1.5 hours, you cannot sit quiet without doing anything. Right? So when you are in Krishna consciousness, all these things are of no use. Duryodhana was also trying to follow the same thing. But Krishna collapsed the whole thing and brought the Amavasya one day earlier, and he did some trick, and he did this. So even after following all this horoscope, astrology, and everything, he couldn't achieve victory. So because why? Because Krishna is not with him. Right? So that is the beautiful point here, which I always remember that. I said, when you cannot control the pilot or the train driver, you have to chant more. Sit and simply chant more, you will be all right. Even if you are dying because of Rahu Kal, you are chanting and dying, man, that is the best thing you can do. That is real Samadhi. The last line, Prabhu, I think you have to finish.
Samadhi means transcendental meditation. We cannot do anything about it.
Yeah.
If tsunami water comes, what can you do? Just chant Krishna's name.
The practical things, no, these are. So we can't be like fanatical about our rituals and rules and regulations. So nice, Prabhu. Thank you. We could do only this one, but I really loved today's discussion as usual. Like nice discussions are there. Any questions, comments before we stop for the day? Just 1 or 2 minutes we can take. Maybe someone else wants to ask any questions or realizations that you want to share. Yes, Shivam Prabhu. Shivam Prabhu, by the way, are you staying in Lucknow now?
Krishna, yes, Prabhuji. I'm in
I
Lucknow,
saw
actually.
something in bracket, it's written Lucknow, so I thought
Yes.
you moved from
Because,
Pune and.
yeah, I'm from Lucknow. Actually, my father met with that.
No, you have gone there temporarily.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, Prabhu. Your point.
Prabhu, like it was a coincidence, like that 2 days before only I was, this thought was coming in mind, like, everyone wants to be controlled. Everyone wants to control, but no one wants to be in control. But my question was, Prabhu, like, I think you already gave, but I want to highlight again that, okay, like you gave so many suggestions and advices about how not to control others. But what if others wants to control us, like in your home or relationships? So if others wants to control us, then how we can actually, how what we should do in that case?
See, Prahlad Maharaj is the best example. No, Hiranyakashipu wanted to control him. So how he behaved? He didn't change his mind. What his mind was adoksajalambam. He is completely is absorbed in Krishna. But the respect he had for Hiranyakashipu as a father never changed just because he was demoniac and he was hating Vishnu, whatever. That is why even after Hiranyakashipu's death, he was praying to Nrsimhadev for his deliverance. He asked for forgiveness. Please forgive me that my father was treating you as an enemy in ignorance. Please forgive him for that. So that kind of a mercy, that is real mercy. You understand? You are praying for someone who is treating you as an enemy. That is real mercy to him. Right? So even those who are controlling us, you don't get succumb to their ways. Like say, for example, at work, you will have somebody who will be controlling you. You cannot go and tell your manager that you cannot control me. I am also earning, you are also earning. Can you say that? I am also a worker in this office, you are also a worker in this office. I cannot listen to you. Then what will happen? Where you have to be controlled by somebody, you have to be controlled by somebody. Right? Only a good disciple can be a good, only a good servant can be a good master or whatever, that leader. Right? So we have to understand that we are working under somebody and we have to follow that. That where those, so we have to know where to be behave in certain way and behave. There in places where people are controlling to satisfy their false ego and we have nothing to do with them, or we can do away without them, we can do better without them. You take the risk, take the thing to depend on Krishna and say that I don't want to work under this person who is using me for his personal benefits. Then you can skip that thing and you come out. If it is disturbing your mind, I mean. Right? There are bosses who would do, everybody needs their own thing also, roti kapda makan also. There will be another thing. So everybody is controlled here. But if he is taking undue advantage of your this thing and he is not giving you what you need at times and all that, reciprocating, then you tell bye bye, tata bye bye and move on. This is a professional thing, right? When it comes to relationships and all, you have to be more, accepting of the reality. See, Tukaram was controlled by his wife like anything. He was always afraid of going home also. She was ready with the chapati roller to beat him. See, someone of the caliber of Tukaram should be every day, the wife should put garland and wash his feet and feed him all chapan bhog or whatever. But of course, they didn't have any Lakshmi for chapan bhog. That is another thing. But whatever miracles that he was doing, she was not at all interested in it. But he was very afraid of her. But he continued with his Krishna consciousness, irrespective of what she was. Right? In the end, also, even though she was not interested, he asked her to come along with him to Golokundavan. If he had recommended, Krishna would have taken her also, even though she did not do anything except, of course, serving her husband, who is a pure devotee. Right? But she couldn't come. That's her fate, destiny. So we should try as much as possible to help those who are in that duality to come. If they can't come, then we just pray to Krishna. Krishna, you know better what to do with this living entity. And maybe I am not qualified to do that. Please let someone else help that living entity to come to you. Right? So we can genuinely pray for them, bro. And the other important thing, Prabhu, I will tell you, only if you have undue desires, you will feel the pain of being controlled. If you are undue greed and desire, I mean, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, so many different things I want, you will feel the pain of being controlled. When your needs are not so much, and you don't, see any other thing, like Jadabharat Maharaj's need was nothing. So he didn't feel anything because of being taken advantage of by his own brothers, right? So best way to avoid being troubled for this people who are controlling us is to always be absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Always absorbed in absorbed in Krishna consciousness means absorbed in how I will serve Krishna, how I will serve Krishna. If you keep on thinking like that, this thing will not bother you at all. Let them do. How long they will control? Let them keep controlling. They want to satisfy let them control. I don't want to have anything. It's their problem. For me, I just continue my business. Like that we can have. So different levels, people are there differently. So Tukaram never got disturbed by his wife's control. He was always writing more and more and more. And he was loving towards her. He knew what her nature is. I mean to say what her level is, the modes of ignorance and passion is controlling them more. The other important point is those who are trying to control others, actually they are even more controlled by the lower modes. That we have to see. That is the reality, that which they don't know, but we know. Right? So we have to tolerate certain things, Prabhu. We have to just say, okay, this is Krishna's arrangement, and we let's leave it that way. Stop here.
Thanks,
We'll stop here, Prabhu. Nice question. So, Krishna willing, we will connect tomorrow evening around 7 o'clock for the Prabhupada Smaranam, continuing with Juhu story book. Some interesting section is going on. Last week we had a nice, I think many of you are not there, but last week we had a wonderful thing of glorification of Gopal Krishna Maharaj by in that book of something which he did some beautiful services he did at that point, getting that NOC certificate and all. So we will continue on from there. Hare Krishna. Jai Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Nanda Koti Vaishnava ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol Vanchakal Padar Vyascha Kripasna Vicha Paritana Bhanabhayo Krishna Bhayo Namo Koti Vaishnava. See, one part only we are studying in this series, but so much to discuss. Thing, no? That's beauty of Bhagavatam. I'm really enjoying all your association. I hope, and pray that I will return that somehow or other to you all in some little minute way. Please continue this nice Sangha that you are giving me and to all others. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.